The ThunderDome is here to save Raw ratings for like a week.
I know you ain't just here lurking. Subscribe to Pro Wrestling Bits.
WWE Raw has tried every cheap trick in the book to get its ratings to improve, and none of them have worked long term because they haven't addressed the most glaring problem affecting WWE's numbers, and that's Vincent Kennedy McMahon. WWE's move to the ThunderDome is just the latest example of WWE using cosmetic changes to fix a problem that goes much deeper than what's on the surface. And until some high-ranking WWE officials take a good hard look in the mirror, ratings will continue to falter no matter how many silly gimmicks WWE throws at its year-over-year ratings decline, as 2020 has featured some of Raw's lowest viewership numbers of all time. In December of 2018, the entire McMahon family went on national television and blamed Baron Corbin for the ratings decline. Then they announced a fresh start with new stars including Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, and Tommaso Ciampa. Talk about going 0 for 4. As of this writing, the only active competitor currently on the main roster is Ricochet, who went on to lose to the likes of Riddick Moss. Aleister Black is technically still on the main roster, but he hasn't been seen or heard of in weeks after he may or may not have lost an eye. Then WWE thought to itself, maybe the ratings are an aesthetic problem, so they switched up the graphics in the third hour, and of course that didn't work. WWE introduced a 24/7 championship in May of 2019, but by the end of that show, the title was a complete joke, and while it has had its amusing moments, it continues to be a joke to this day. Somewhere along the line, they had that electric chair segment for like a week, and even name-dropped AEW out of pure desperation before that segment disappeared. Elsewhere along the line, WWE stopped uploading YouTube videos during the show in an attempt to force fans to watch Raw while it was still on television. They didn't. They tried to go more edgy in 2019 with more risque content, but no blood and guts though. WWE hired Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff as Raw executive directors, only to fire Eric Bischoff almost immediately and replace him with Bruce Pritchard. After losing patience with its crop of up-and-coming Paul Heyman guys, WWE got rid of Paul Heyman and installed a new executive director of Raw and SmackDown, you guessed it, Bruce Pritchard. In a prime example of putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound, WWE brought back old names in The Big Show, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton, and now build their entire show around it. They then brought back Shane McMahon to introduce Raw Underground, and here we are today, back to square one. WWE continues to employ one shortcut after another to fix a problem that has long-term implications and needs to be addressed from the top. The ThunderDome may work for a one-week pop and initial interest, but if WWE continues to struggle in storytelling, creating compelling characters, and establishing new stars, the ratings will continue to reflect that no matter how many get-rich-quick schemes Vince McMahon throws at his audience to distract them from what everybody knows is the real issue here. What's your favorite short-term gimmick WWE's employed to save ratings? Tell me in the comment section.